Hello everyone, welcome back to Enigma's Cold War server in DCS, and welcome back to the Sabre, where today I've got another Docs Debriefs. These videos where I look through a really interesting flight I've recently had, see what I did well, see what I could improve on, and mostly see what I learned. So let's jump into today's session. So I had a couple of sorties that were so-so, mostly trading one kill for one being splashed, but then my luck turned around here, so I was flying ahead from Sortie, so approached friendly airfield. I saw that it was under attack by this Su-25, so I'm trying to pull in on him here, trying to stay low so he doesn't notice me. He seems to be focusing mostly on the ground targets, and so doesn't take really any evasive action here. Instead he turns perfectly around, lining up a perfect sidewinder shot there. Even the AIM-9Bs can hit easily when you've got a nice perfect shot, so really nice, easy way to start the session. Always something nice to get in. Nicely enough, he did go down a 1. Very often frog feet can tank sidewinders, so I do just double check, but in this case he goes down. Now, after some flying around not finding anything, a while later I do manage to get sight of this Su-25. You may have noticed in the last clip I did still have my tanks on. I was going to dump them if it turned into a dogfight, but I didn't need to. But at this point I have already dumped them. Now, I'm trying to catch up with this Su-25. I still have my 1 stick. I was about to try and get the shot off when he notices me and begins turning. Now, it's too hard an angle to get a decent missile off, so go in for guns. Managed to clip him, but nothing particularly good there. And here we go into a dive. Now, unfortunately for him, he's still got full ordnance, and he can't dump it without going wings level, so I do manage to get nice decent shots on him there, while he's still sluggish. Take off his left flap, or aileron, not sure which. But there we go. Good little start. So this is just the third person replay. You can see I got a couple of hits, nothing particularly good in that first little salvo. Then throttle right back to try and stay on his 6. Now he doesn't have the R60 M's that he'd get on Syria, but he's still dangerous if I overshoot him, so trying to stay behind. And there we see a get decent hit, take off a good chunk of his left wing there. Definitely need to improve on my accuracy on the Sabre, but I'm getting hits in a little more reliably than I used to. So I'm just staying high here. He is badly wounded. I do notice that on the EWR there is another Su-25 coming in. See him getting a moment there to dump some of his ordnance. And here's just me struggling to get the right lead angle, but do get a few hits there. Can see his plane really isn't flying right here, which in some ways is helping him as it's making it a bit harder for me to hit. See the other Su-25 just flying overhead there. Focusing on this guy, the other Su-25 is not in an attacking position yet. Trying to finish this guy off before anything else happens. But I am getting a little out of time here. Do hold down the trigger a bit too much and run out of ammo there. But I have really badly hurt this 125. The other one is now the big threat. The Sabre does only have 50 cals here, so you do need to get a lot of hits for it to actually work out. And you see here I'm putting loads of bullets in, but he still keeps trucking. A mixture of the 50 cals being underpowered in this era, and the Su-25 just being really good at tanking. So I know there's another plane in the area. I can't see it immediately, I can easily keep track of the damaged one. I'm out of bullets, but at this point I think they don't know that I'm out of bullets. They also may not know that I'm aware of the second one, so what I do is I keep on the first one, but constantly trying to keep an eye out, really trying to use the first one as bait, hoping the second one will come in and give me an opportunity there. Do still have a stick, so can get the stick off. Just have to be very, very sparing with it, since that is my last bit of offensive firepower. So, again, just turning on him, keeping the pressure on him, making him think that I might be trying to engage. There goes the second one. As soon as I see him, I turn towards him. He is by far the bigger threat. The other one is struggling to fly. Now, end up very quickly in rolling scissors here. Rolling scissors is something the Sabre does really well. I understand the Su-25 trying it would work against most opponents, but the Sabre has a really, really low stall speed, can really handle it. Now, here I'm in a good position, but the angle isn't quite what I wanted, so I hold off firing just for now. See the first one zipping up there, I'll see that on the replay. He tries to help his friend, but then as the friend reverses, that's nicely lined up, fire off my missile. And see there, this first one coming in, trying to save his friend, doesn't manage to get guns on. I, however, do get the lock, get a nice decent hit. The first one actually goes down at almost the exact same time there as the second one goes down, so I get 2 kills there in the space of about 2 seconds of one another. And so then do manage to RTB, completely Winchester at that point. Come back, 3 kills, all Su-25s, feeling pretty good about myself. Do one hell of a hard landing here, though I am not good at landing the Sabre. Break off the front gear, but thankfully that's nothing that a quick repair can't fix. So after getting repaired, getting back in the air, head back in, there's a whole big cloud of planes fighting each other here. Got quite a furball on the coast. Do identify this one as a MiG-21 by its afterburner, so decide to try and focus on him. There is a friendly F5 a little bit ahead. There is also a friendly Vigan. The Vigan's there right behind me. Vigan is trying to pull on to the 21 that I had lost sight of. Didn't do a great job at keeping eyes on the 21 during that turn, but now I'm coming in with a much better position. This 21's really in a bad position now. Just being against a Sabre and a Vigan really limits his options. If he tries to extend, the Vigan will get him. If he tries to keep turning, I will rate around on him. So really his only hope at this point is for a friend to come in. Now I'm winning the rate fight. I do clip off some shots here, but aim too high, miss it altogether. Do overshoot, but manage to turn inside of his turn to keep his guns away from me. Here things are starting to look better for me, getting into a better position, looping around, trying to fall in on him, when all of a sudden that Mirage comes in and does a guns pass on me. I manage to jink and lose it, but at this point I decide the Mirage is the bigger threat, and so turn my attention on him. Now here he does seem to be perfectly lined up for a Sidewinder shot. Unfortunately he is looking, he does see, and he flares, and the flaring's enough to distract that. The AIM-9B is very, very easily distracted with flares. I was just hoping that he hadn't seen me. Unfortunately at this point he's tightened his turn enough that there's no way the AIM-9B would track. So I'm just keeping up this turn. Again, I know there's a Vigan in the area, and so this guy probably can't stretch out. Here he does turn onto an F5. I quickly do on SRS warn the F5. I don't know if the F5 hears me or not, but he certainly sees the bullets passing his canopy. And thankfully with that Mirage focusing on the F5, he has bled quite a bit of speed, and that has let me catch up on him here. He's trying to go back in on the F5. I don't know if he realises I'm still here or not, but he's very committed. And unfortunately opens himself up to be just the perfect target. Once I finally get the lead right, he just absolutely gets vaporised. That's the best explosion I've ever got from 50 cals. His plane just gets absolutely deleted. Clearly a 50 cal passed through something very important there. There's just nothing left of his plane. So that is the Mirage down. This 21 is still kicking about. Try and get on his tail. I don't know where the Vigan's gone at this point. I'm not sure if he's been shot down or if he's just left the fight. Unfortunately, without the Vigan, I really can't hope to chase down a MiG-21 like this. My only hope now is that he turns away, which at this point he really doesn't seem to be wanting to do. So we're just in a foot chase. I'm just trying to stay as low as possible so it's difficult for him to see me against the ground, hoping that he will turn. You can see him now. He has found another target to go for. So I do get a chance to fall in on him. Unfortunately, I fired the missile at really the wrong time there. I'd already made the mental decision to shoot when he starts flaring. You see the missile came close, but he had clearly seen me. He had kind of already turned to evade. I need to be a bit quicker with correcting myself. I had made the decision to shoot and went through with shooting even after I saw that it was useless. Alright, not too worried at this point. I do have him low off my wing. I am rating around on him. If he keeps up the turn, he is gone. However, he does the sensible thing at this point, and he just starts to extend. Not really much I can do. So a little while later, in the same area, come across another MiG-21. Unfortunately, I'm just too slow to save that Vigan that just got shot down. But do nicely end up on this MiG-21-6. This is a different MiG-21, it's got a different camo scheme on. I think the other one RTB'd. So I was trying to sneak up on him. He does seem to see me at the last moment. Pulls a very impressive set of manoeuvres there. Bleeds off a hell of a lot of speed and absolutely throws me off. He manages to reverse that in one manoeuvre, which really good on him. He does fire a missile, but I'm turning far too sharply at that point. So really good on him managing to avoid that. Here's just the third person of it sneaking up on his low 6. You can see the exact moment that he realises something's wrong is there. Very, very quick. Absolutely insane manoeuvre that he manages. The advantage is it does reverse me, it does bleed off a lot of speed, force the overshoot. The downside for him though is he has bled off a huge amount of his velocity there. You can see his missile really didn't stand a chance. He does still have his central fuel tank on, which I think is just a mistake on his part. I'm guessing he's forgot it. He only has one missile left, so I think he's been up for a while. Probably he's just forgotten he has a central tank. But now once again I'm in a good position. Rate fight in the Sabre's always where you want to be. And pulling onto him, I'd love to still have a Sidewinder at this point, because that's pretty much a guaranteed kill. Unfortunately, he is playing sensible. He starts to extend and climb. There's no way I can follow him. My only thoughts at this point is maybe if I turn cold, he will turn back hot onto me, and I can drag him a bit closer. And so that's what I do here. I turn cold to him, trying to lure him in a bit closer. And it does work, he immediately turns hot. Fortunately, I do temporarily lose sight of him. I really should have been watching him a bit more carefully there. And it does turn out that it wasn't me that he turned hot for, it was another target here. So I'm trying to pull on him, save this. I think it's an F5 up ahead. Not too much that I can do to help the F5 other than put pressure on this guy. He does turn very, very, very hard. Bleeds off too much speed in that turn. I do fire them mostly to get him to manoeuvre, to keep him bleeding off speed, and nicely he obliges, does exactly that, pulls some really weird manoeuvres here. And fortunately for me, stalls out, managed to get some hits in his engine so he can't recover. And there we go, no way he's getting up from that. So yeah, really, really happy with that one. Here's just a third person of that last one. There's my sprays to get him to manoeuvre. You can see he's just doing some crazy manoeuvres. I've never seen a MiG-21 doing so much like this. But you can see him struggling there. He doesn't have the energy. A few bullets in the back are enough that he just can't recover. He might not have been able to recover without those bullets. But yeah, so there we go, managed to secure the ace. That was 5 kills without dying. Very, very happy with that. First one in the Sabre. Really do love the Sabre, especially on the Caucasus map. It's just really fun to fly. I really like turn fighters, and it is right now the ultimate blue turn fighter. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I hope you did. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all really does help. Otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next video. Till then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.